Happy Friday. So today we're going to talk about vertical mills. So there's been a lot of talk about vertical mills in the past couple of years, but no real deep dive into what can it do, what are the differences between different vertical mills, and so on. And what's a vertical mill in the first place? So a vertical mill is any mill where the shaft goes vertically instead of horizontally, like a granulator or regular hammer mill. So this here is our CMIM 2000, and it's our V2000, I should say, because it's vertical, and it's 2 meters across, so 2,000 millimeters, and it has a 200 horsepower motor on it. So I'll show you the backside here. And this is in our plant here in Connecticut, which is also our lab. So you can see here the diverter can go into the mill or into the regular granulator. So we do this here. We want to test. We want to try it as much as possible, different materials, which works best, and so on and so forth. And the verdict is pretty much in. So our guys like to use the vertical mill more because of the maintenance. So you do require a little more horsepower to achieve the same throughput than you would with a regular granulator, but what you do have is way less maintenance. So you don't have to change the blades or every couple days like you would with a granulator. But what you do have is hammers and hammer plates. So every 2 weeks or so, you open up and you take the plates off the hammers, and it takes about 15 minutes. You have 2 doors on this side, and there's 2 doors like that on the other side. So 2 operators could open up the doors, and within 15 minutes, it's 2 bolts on each hammer. There's 4 hammers, so 8 bolts total. Go in there with an impact gun and just pull those out. So it's very quick, very simple, and I have some hammers over here. I can show you kind of what they look like. Now, the inside of the machine is proprietary design. It's the only one like this in the world right now that can replace a granulator, which means it gives you the same or similar results to a granulator with your final product. So most machines or most wire chopping systems out there go from a shredder to a granulator and then into another granulator and a separator. And in the past 10, 15 years, we've been going from granulator to zigzag to pull out the heavies, and then go to a turbo mill with all the lights. And turbo mills have been really amazing because you have way less maintenance on the turbo mill than you do with the granulator. Turbo mills, we open them up every 6 months, every just inspect, every 3 months to inspect, but really we only change or rotate the blades in the turbo mill every 6 months to a year. So what we do in the heavy duty application is go from the shredder to the vertical mill, from the vertical mill to the zigzag, and then have all the lights go to the turbo mill. In regards to throughput, the throughput on this is the same as our largest granulator. So, but the horsepower needs to be a little bit higher to achieve the same result. So that's the only downside that we've come up with so far. All right, so this is the front side of the hammer, and this is the back side, and they're all perfectly balanced. And the plate on the front is, you can see here, the wear plate. So this is all you have to change, and there's 2 of them, one in the front, one in the back. The one in the front is the one you would change. The one in the back every couple months. It doesn't get as much wear as the one on the tip. But the vertical mill is definitely what the turbo mill was 10 years ago. So people were very, very sheepish about jumping in on the turbo mill bandwagon. Speaking of turbo mill, I have a really big one right here, and this one is going to the Carolinas. So that's our largest one that we have. It's the largest one that's made currently, and this one has a water-cooled jacket on it. But a few years ago, I say a few years, 10 years ago, everyone said, no, turbo mills aren't good. We're going from granulator to another granulator, chop it up smaller. But people weren't taking into account maintenance. And the turbo mill, like I said, 6 months to a year for rotating the blades. That's pretty good. Now, granulator, if you have a granulator and you're running one, you know you're changing blades all the time. You're regapping it. It takes anywhere from 2 hours to a day, and that's not the case with the vertical mill. There's absolutely no gapping needed. So that's that. Give us a call. Check out our website. Come and visit us. Come and see it in person. See it working in person. Keep watching. Thank you.